In the United States, we have mortgage interest write-off. So when you write your mortgage interest rate down, put what it is with the bank that you actually pay out, but then do the net effect and take off the benefits you get tax-wise. So you're actually looking at the real interest rate that you're paying out the door. Everybody, is debt your distraction? I think for many of us, it is. It's almost a suffering pattern for many of us. And guess what? You don't even realize it. Not even close. You actually probably think you're being fiscally prudent. And you might be. You have no idea what the energetics behind it are doing to your life. So it's time to become aware. I'm Julie Murphy, and please hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Why? Because I'm here to help you get to a life that you absolutely love. There are so many of us that were shown over the last few years during the pandemic that, we're living in the rat race. We're on the treadmill of life, and we're all going so hard and so fast, and we're working hard. We're being good people. We're doing our best. And then all of a sudden, quarantine happened. The whole world was in their house. You had a little time to reflect as to, what did I create in my life? You may not have even asked it to yourself that way. Financially speaking, people became extremely aware of where they were spending money. We recognized that we have trillions of dollars now sitting in savings accounts around the world that were not there before that. And I was like, well, of course, Jewel. They were sitting in their homes. They couldn't go spend anywhere. But the most interesting part is we haven't gone back to those spending levels. We might someday. We might not. But this is where I want to help you with your paradigm shift around debt structures. I had a client tell me years ago, Jewel, I sold my home and I bought my freedom, because it was the biggest ticket item that she paid for on a month-to-month basis. And she thought that that's what she wanted. She thought that that's what she wanted to create in her life. But she came to realize, because she hit this way before quarantine, this was like 8 years before, and she decided that she was so worried about losing her job, if she didn't get her bonus, is she not getting the pay raises, because she extended herself so much from a debt perspective. And she loved her home, but when she sold her home, she bought her freedom. So I want you to take a look at your debts. Now, I have a debt worksheet. I'm going to put the link below, actually, making a note to myself, because I want you to list out your debts probably differently than you've listed them out before. Why? Because it's time to increase your awareness. It's about listing your debts, and this is including your mortgage. Like, it may be that you don't want to look at your debt levels. You're not opening the envelopes. Depending on how much that debt path you've gone down, list out your mortgage, list the interest rate, list the minimum payment amount, and then list out what you actually pay. Because some people pay a little over their mortgage, some people pay the minimum on their credit cards, and they pay over their minimum, some pay all of it off. I want you to list it out. Now, there's mortgage, there's credit cards, and don't say credit cards. If you have 10 credit cards, please list them one by one, because that's another way we distract ourselves. We actually don't give ourselves all the data because our subconscious mind is going, I don't want to look, I don't want to look, I don't want to look. This is our suffering pattern, right? We're not intentionally doing this. This all has to do with the fact that our subconscious mind and our expansion and growth and manifestation is really based in how well we hold a safe container for ourselves. So one of the ways that our brains naturally do that is, I'm not actually going to look at all the debt lines because I don't really want to know, because I kind of feel somewhat safe where I'm at in my woo-woo land and I'm not paying attention, right? And you know what? I've seen this with people with $30,000 of income and people with $300,000 of income. It does not matter. These patterns exist in all genres of income affluence. I see it all the time. So list them all out. The mortgage debt, credit cards, each individually, car debts, each individually, if you have more than one in your home, student loans, each one individually, debt to family members. Is there interest being paid on it? If the place where you live has tax rules on, like in the United States, we have mortgage interest write-off. So when you write your mortgage interest rate down, put what it is with the bank that you actually pay out, but then do the net effect and take off the benefits you get tax-wise. So you're actually looking at the real interest rate that you're paying out the door. Why do I have you do it this way? Because the only way to get through is to face your fears. I need you to feel the emotions that you have not felt when you did the spending and created the debt in the first place. Does that make sense? Debt structures are a way that we act out our emotions. We work things out and we act it out, and we do it through our money, through our health, and through our relationships. So we act it out because we actually don't feel the feelings in the present moment of what's actually happening in our lives. And so we go spend, or we create debt structures, or we, all these other patterns. So I want you to take a look, because you're going to have some uncomfortable feelings come up. That's okay. But it's time for the debt to no longer be the distraction. What's it the distraction of? Any ideas? The distraction of you being the most authentic version of you in this lifetime. It keeps you on the treadmill. It keeps you on the agenda of other people. It keeps you on the agenda of the government. It keeps you on the agenda of the banking system. It keeps you on the agenda of your employer. I had somebody tell me in my first employment, oh, I like all my salespeople to have their PhD. And I was like, oh, I don't have my PhD. I don't qualify for this job. And then I found out that PhD meant poor, hungry, and driven. They loved you having debt because then you would sell more and hit more of your sales numbers. Come on. Come on. That's a terrible motivator. Let's have you fiscally screwed up, and then you're going to sell more because you're stuck in the rat race. Where do you want your freedom from? Right? There's never a day that people aren't happier when I watch them pay off their house, pay off their cars, pay off their student loans, pay off their credit cards. Here's an important piece. As we start to increase this awareness on our debt levels, and let's just say you list them out and you have 10 of them. Okay, I'm giving an example. You may not have 10, you may have 5, you might have 30. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It just is, right? Don't judge yourself. Don't have blame, shame, guilt, or judgment. Your reality is your reality, and it does not add value to beat yourself up about it. When you start and you pay off one of those lines, I don't care how big or how small it is, what's super important with that next payment that you don't have to make because you paid it off, I need you to take at least a piece of it and reward yourself. Not the whole thing, just a piece. Why? Because we have to keep you in that safe container. I remember hearing one time this financial professional on TV was saying, you have to pay off all those credit cards until 100% of that is paid off. Well, thank you for just putting me in jail. That doesn't feel good either. It doesn't feel good to have your PhD. It doesn't feel good that all you have to do with all your free money is pay off all your past choices and pay down all your debt. No, we have to start to feel expansive and abundant as opposed to scarcity and victim. We have to get empowered. Now, you may not know right away where you want to spend that money when you make off that payment. Maybe just create a savings account on the side to create an intention going, my spending money. And then when something comes up, whatever the value in that account is, then you go spend it. What's also more important is when you pay off one of those debts, to stop distracting yourself in life, is you reward yourself a little bit with that first payment. The next payment, intentionally put it towards what you want to create in your life. So if you paid off your car, now make your own payment to yourself. Have that car payment go right into an account that's separate from everything else that says your car fund. Then you can become the bank for your next car. I'm telling you, it works. I've been at this for 27 years helping clients. And I know through my books, The Emotion Behind Money and Awaken Your Wealth, I've put all the tips and tools in there that I've worked with clients through the years that I know can get you to this place that finally addresses the psychological patterns of you not feeling safe, which then creates financial abundance. Because the patterns and the processes that I will walk you through on these videos or in my books or in my coaching group sessions, they're going to get you there in a safe container while you work on healing those emotional patterns that have gotten you to the financial reality you have today. Don't forget, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell because I am going to help you get to a life that you love because you matter. Talk soon. Bye.